Good morning, first graders. I miss you guys so much. I hope you had a wonderful Passover break. And thank you for tuning in to watch our first video. If you don't have your student interactive with you, I suggest getting it. If you're unable to at the moment, you should at least be following along and looking at mine. And we're going to talk about the introduction of our new unit and do a little bit of phonics work together. Feel free to pause this video and work along with me at any time, or do some of the by yourself work at separate intervals throughout the video as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look in your new workbook. It's the Unit 5 workbook. It's page 6 and 7. And so this is Unit 5, and our unit is titled Beyond My World. And so we're thinking about things beyond the immediate world that we live in. Your essential question, the question that you're going to be thinking about throughout this entire unit, not just this week, is how do the seasons affect us? So when the seasons change, how do we change? I want you guys to go ahead and get on My View at some point today if you're able to, and find the link under my work in My View to watch this video. It's called 4 Fun Seasons. 4 Fun Seasons. And when you'll watch this video, I want you to get more information about how the seasons are different from each other and practice describing that to someone at your house if you're able to. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next page in your student interactive. This is page 7. And you can see that in Reading Workshop, we'll be working on informational text this week. The text for the week is called Every Season. We'll be looking again at informational text next week, followed by a persuasive text trying to convince you of something. Fiction. So fiction means fake, not real. It's a made-up story or a narrative, followed by another informational text. In our Reading Writing Bridge, we'll also be working on informational text. And in Writing Workshop, eventually, you're going to be writing your own how-to book. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to skip forward in our student interactive. And I want you to go to page 12. Again, can everybody please turn to page 12? On page 12 and 13, we have our weekly launch, our infographic. Remember, an infographic has illustrations or pictures with captions or labels. And so what you're going to do is read this by yourself or with a grown-up at home to read about the seasons of an apple tree. And I want you to notice how the tree changes in spring, in winter, summer, and autumn. And of course, if you have these pages next to each other, you'll be following this. So maybe you'll read about winter first, then spring, follow the arrow. You'll read about summer and autumn. And I want you this entire week to be thinking about the question, what happens during the seasons? A lot of things happen during the seasons, and that's a really broad question. So I want you to learn as much as you can about that this week. Okay, go ahead and turn to the next page, page 14, so we can get started with our phonics. This week, we're going to be working on some middle and final sounds. So for see and say, it says say each sound as you name each picture. Then say the picture name again. So we see a boat here. We see a toe here. You can see this arrow pointing to the big toe. And we see a bird we call a crow. All of these words that I've just said have that same long O sound. The long O sound is spelled O-A in our first word, boat. Boat. You can hear the O, the name of the O, when we say that sound and that letter, or those two letters. The long O sound is spelled O-W in crow. Crow. The long O is spelled O-E in the word toe, to-o. So when you practice these words on my turn, what I want you to do is be looking at the first set of arrows and the letters. So we say for this word, this is the word below, but when you're sounding it out, you need to say b-l-o, below. Try the next word at home on your own. That's the word goal. Let's go ahead and move on. Turn to page 15 in your student interactive. You are going to practice reading these words: coat, dough, row, road, toe, snow. I know I just read them to you, but you still need to practice reading them to yourselves at home. After you do that, I want you to practice the my turn. You're going to say the picture name and circle the word that names the picture. Then read the word. So for example, this is a picture of soap. You're given the opportunity to circle the word soap or the word sap. What do you see in the picture? You see soap. When you move on, for example, on the next photo, do you see a picture of this first word? This is the word get. Or do you see a picture of the word goat? Hopefully you see a picture of the word goat. And I also notice that goat makes the O sound, the long O sound, spelled O-A in the center of that word. Go ahead and circle goat. Okay, I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. When you're ready, move on to the next page. Remember, you can pause this video at any time. If you want to follow along with my directions or instruction on a page, pause it, do your work, and then press play on the video to move on again. All right, on this page, you have more practice with the words slow, boat, toad, and blow. You are going to use the words to finish the sentences and then read these sentences out loud. The first one is done for you, but let's take a look at it. It says, Joe floats a boat in the pond. Okay, so you're going to trace the word boat, circle it or cross it off in your word box to know that you've already used it. When you get to the next one, you'll read it to yourself. Will the breeze blank the boat? I might say, will the breeze slow the boat? Will the breeze toad the boat? Or will the breeze blow the boat? Which one makes the most sense to you? If you said blow, you are correct. Will the breeze blow the boat? All right, let's go ahead and move on. When you finish, you're also going to do the my turn. Write your own sentence about the boat. Be creative with it. All right, on the next page, we have 2 more pages we're working on today. 3 more pages, excuse me, that we're working on today. You are going to practice another type of sound. It's a consonant blend and trigraph. Let's read about this together. Sometimes you hear more than one consonant sound at the beginning of a word. Segment the sounds in each picture by saying each sound. Then blend the sounds to say the picture name again. So what in the world does that mean, you guys? For example, in this first picture here, I see a street. When I say the word street, the first sound I say is stra, eat, street. The first sound is stra, S-T-R. Okay, and so that's my blend. Remember we talked about sometimes you hear more than one sound, consonant sound at the beginning of the word, and they're blended together. In this picture, I see string, stra-ing, string, S-T-R, once again. In this last picture, I see a spring, spra, S-P-R. Go ahead and move on, and let's read. It says consonant blends and trigraphs. 3 consonants at the beginning of a word are spelled together and make a blended sound, like the THR in the word throw, thruh, and the SPL in the word split, spluh. So your job is to read this word, sound it out, and then read the whole thing. When you're ready, move on to the next page. On the next page, you'll be working on your words to know. Some words are words that you must remember and practice. These are hopefully words that you remember how to read when you see them, and also you need to start remembering how to spell these words. It says read these words: by, about, would, right, people. I want to point something out. Buy is spelled B-U-Y. This is not the kind of buy where you're leaving the classroom and I'm waving goodbye to you. This is the kind of buy where you might be purchasing something at the grocery store. You are buying something, okay? Keep that in mind. For the my turn, your job is to complete each sentence with a word from the box. Handwriting, print the letters legibly or clearly. That just means use your best handwriting and leave spaces between the words. Number 1, Dave watches blank feed the birds. They've already done this example for you. Dave watches people feed the birds. Circle or cross out people at the top of your word box so you know you've already used it. I feel pretty confident you guys can do the rest of these on your own. If you get stuck on one, skip it and move on to the next problem and then go back. All right, our last page for the day is one more practice page with these consonant blends and trigraphs. You are going to read these words at home. I'm going to let you read them by yourself or with a grown-up, and then you're going to practice the my turn. This is the part that's a little trickier. It says to say the picture name and spell the words. Write the letters to finish the word. So the first one is done for you. We looked at this picture earlier. It's a picture of a street, and we know that street at the beginning of the word has the S-T-R sound, stra, eat, okay? What do you think this is a picture of? It's a bottle, and it's a spray bottle, spra. What 3 letters make the spra sound? They already have written the A sound here for you. Spray, spray. What three letters make the spr sound? S-P-R. Go ahead and write that down. Your next picture, you see the end of the word already, ash. What do you think this is a picture of? If you said splash, you are right. Spl, ash, spl. What three letters make the spl sound? S-P-L. Go ahead and write that down. Last but not least, we have the ah sound, but we're missing the beginning of the word. This little arrow is pointing to a straw. Stra, ah. What three letters make the stra sound? S-T-R. Straw. Go ahead and write that down. That's it for today, you guys. Please make sure you let me know if you have any questions, reach out. Also, you're welcome to ask a grown-up for help at home, and they're able to contact me too if you need me. Thanks, you guys. I'll have another video ready for you for tomorrow. I miss you.